shining a beacon on the bazaar.
Good morning. How you doing there? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll see. Have a good market. Yeah, that's great. Good morning. How you doing there?
Hello!
Oh, hello. Yeah.
I've got a vagina!
Oh, that's lovely, madam. Yes.
And a baby!
Oh, that's really nice. Lovely. Well, I'm Matt. Have you seen liner cut art before?
No!
Oh, well, this is all liner cut art. I'm the artist. So
It's very nice!
Thank you very much. That's really kind of you. Thank you.
Have you seen my baby?
Well, no, we'll have a little look in a minute. I just want to show you what art I'm doing.
Yes!
Okay, so what it is, it's like, I'm an artist and this is my stall. I'm here today.
How much is that one?
That one's £47.
Fucking what? How much is that one?
Well, that's £30.
How much is the little one?
Well, that one's £20 of that print. But you've got to remember, this is all handmade art. I do it all myself. It's on exotic papers, Bhutanese, Himalayan papers.
Bhutanese?
Yeah, you know the Kingdom of Bhutan, it's a country?
Yes.
Well, it's like that sort of thing. It's nice exotic handmade papers. It's quality paper.
Have you seen my baby?
Let me have a little look at this baby then. That's a strange looking baby, isn't it? You know?
It's a beautiful baby. Give him a kiss.
Oh.
Go on. Give him a fucking kiss.
Well, okay. I'll reach in and give.
Oh my God! Is it with a taser, Pete?
Silly this, you silly bitch.
Everyone get the fuck back! Get back! He's having a fit! I'm a doctor!
Oh, Pete, drop his fucking dick because I'm trying to fucking stop! Oh no! Pete, not his face! Pete, not his face! Just fucking get him into the van! Get in the fucking van! That's it, come on, Pete, get the door open! Come on! Stop fucking struggling! Get in! Shut up, Pete! Nice! What?
Love you, Billy.
Yes, just fucking drive!
Fucking hell!
Hiya, kid, how you doing? You're a bit sleeps there.
What the fuck? You've done it again, haven't you?
No. You've been dreaming, honestly. Your leg's been going like a terrier.
Oh.
You just need a coffee. Get a coffee down here. All right, lad.
Wait. Why is Pete just like a baby?
He's a beautiful baby.
Yeah. What, Pete?
And I've got a vagina.
It's all coming back to me. You bastard!
Where have you been?
I've been at work earning money to support the fucking lighthouse.
Oh, it's all gone again, I'm afraid.
Oh, you haven't been doing fruities again, have you?
No, I just burnt all your shit. You're here for a while, son.
Oh, no!
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
People are waiting.
I know, but you know I wanted to be an artist.
You can do it all over again with your crayons, whatever you fucking do.
Oh, all right then.
Good lad, here's your cuppa. Good lad, get that down a bit.
Christ.
Look how Pete, though, he's beautiful. Oi!
Ew,
Fucking bit me hand.
stinks though,
God.
doesn't he?
I think he's nappy, though. I ain't changed it at all.
Why does he smell like sort of sour milk? Have you been breastfeeding?
Mate, lactate, all he does is... Don't cry again, Pete. No, oh, look at them big rings.
Fucking burger nipples.
It shoots out like an ejaculation.
That's incredible. I wish you'd stop breastfeeding, Pete.
He's so cute. When he gets latched on, he gives me them little doe eyes of his. I can't stop it.
Jesus
it's
Christ.
Adorable.
Well, to be fair, you've got a fine pair of knockers on you.
I know. Nipples are like bloody fighter pilot's thumbs.
Right, well, anyway, I think now I'm here.
Will you?
We've
A
got
little
to do a bit of casting.
Please.
There's only one reason why I've got to do it.
Why?
Because it's Kraken Cove, the podcast that shines a beacon on the bazaar. And I'm Matt.
And I'm a vagina Benny.
And I baby robot Pete.
So, while I'm here, it's the Christmas season. We've got to do some Christmas podcasts, haven't we?
Christmas Cove.
Yeah, so sorry I'm not being as regular as possible because I've got a job. I've got to try and do this. and every now and again I've got to come and do Cove and stuff like that. But we're going to try get a bit of balance back into the Cove.
Exactly. It's a busy time for Christmas. I understand it totally, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll be fucked in January and February. Loads of Cove.
Yeah, that's it. We've got time for Cove in January, February. We should be New Year, new Cove. We should be able to get a good few episodes in before I have to get back on the grind again.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it, you see. That's the way we work. So hopefully we'll be a bit more regular. But until then, we can just try what we can do.
Just squeeze him in, our kid. That's all I want.
It's like you're squeezing your nipples into old Pete gob. Well, Pete can fuck off now, can't you?
Yeah,
Pete?
go on, Pete. Get back in that boat, lad.
Right, there's a good Pete, right. So, in the meantime there, I think what we should do is get the light cranked up. I think we should cast it out and see what we can see. So, for the first boat out of the harbour,
those words.
So, we need a little bit of a callback here, right, to one of our other episodes. I think it might be in the last one, but I can't quite remember.
Fuck off.
And I'm there saying, and as you just mentioned just off camera there, off microphone there, about cocks. It is about cocks.
Straight into it.
Straight into cocks.
Oh.
And the thing is there, I didn't think it would be. I thought, no, you don't say to me that we're going to do loads of episodes about cocks again. I said, we're not.
Is every story about cocks, our kid? No, Matt. No.
There's no penises in this.
Straight out the house, straight out your fly.
Straight out the fly, straight into your ear. So this is, remember we were talking about bat cocks.
I read a bit about bat cocks as well.
Have you really?
I have. The size of the cock, it doesn't penetrate the bat fully. It pushes like some guarding mechanism on the cat, on the bat's foo-foo.
Yeah, so this is basically a story where there's been in St Matthias's church in Castenray in the Netherlands, right? They've had some little videos up or little cameras up to sort of like watch the bats.
Yeah.
Some sort of like, I don't think it's like OnlyFans for bats.
The breeding patterns, a lot of animals are not shy, but it's hard to see mating sometimes, isn't there?
No matter how we try. Go on, fuck it. Go on, fuck it. So basically what it is, they've had these cameras up, but like you say, trying to get animals to sort of fuck and watch what they're doing, right? Which is just sort of like one of the weirdest things going, but we're a bit obsessed. As is race, we're obsessed. How do animals make other animals, So, but what they've done, they've filmed these bats at it, right? So Dr. Nicholas Faisal from the University...
Facial? Wait a minute. Nicholas as well. Dick Facial, yeah. What does he say about it?
Nicholas Faisal. Oh, fucking hellfire. An expert in bats at the University of Lausanne. He says, it was a surprise. But in the evidence we've gathered, it's quite clear that, yes, as you said, there is no penetration.
Right.
So what they're saying about these bats, quite as Benny's saying, is these bats, for some reason, their cocks have adapted so they're 7 times too big to get into the other bat's fanny of these cocks. Can you imagine that?
I can't really.
So, but what they realise, they're thinking, well, if this bat's cock is too big to get into the bat's fanny, how do they have babies?
Yeah.
So what they're saying is, what's happening? These are serotine bats, Apesticus serotinus, right? And they realise that they don't realise how they have sex, but they say it becomes obvious when they glance at their anatomy.
Yeah.
Right? The male's erect penis is enormous and ends with a heart-shaped head that is 7 times wider than the female's vagina.
God.
Vile sight, right? So what they thought of first was they're ramming it in when it's flaccid. They're thinking it's popping in on the slack, right?
Yeah, the old marshmallow.
And then what they're thinking is it grows to that size inside.
Doggy style.
Yeah, oh, well, that's it. And that's actually known as a copulatory tie, that's called. So that means then the dick's in, pumping it full of spunk. And it makes sure then that there's no other animal gets it. It makes sure it's all in. Gets the lot in, right? But that is not what's happening, right? And then the next possibility of thought, it's just basically pushing the tip, right? Just the tip to it, right?
Yeah.
And spunking in through that.
He's got knackers for it though, hasn't he? Because the knackers are as big as the cocks. So you think he's gonna be a money shot. He's this, and it's like really squirting it up there.
Well, they call that a cloacal kiss, and that's what birds and lizards do. So it's basically they push it next to it, so they create like a seal, a contact. And then they fire it in through that, so it's not actually penetrative. It's just sort of pushes up against each other.
Pope's method-ish.
Pope's method? Is this how Popes fucking each other?
Yeah, that's what they do it, boys, so there's no DNA. Sorry. It isn't true.
Outrageous. But what they've realised, what's actually happening, right? Oh, God, it's awful. They're using this monstrous penis as an extra arm. And it pushes aside the female's tail membrane. So the tail membrane on a bat is where between its sort of legs...
Gucci bit.
It kind of is, but there's a big... Well, to help flight, obviously they've got a big membrane that stretches from the wrist to the leg, to the body, you know, like... and that makes the wing.
Yeah.
But if you look at a bat, they've actually got another big webbing, another big flap, as it were, at the back, and that's what aids flight. So that's what
like steers it type.
That's exactly it. Yeah. But that's in the road. So when they're trying to have sex, this membrane, as it's called, is in the way. So it uses its big old wanger, right, to heave that out the way, right. And so they say the process takes some fumbling around. Sometimes an hour, sometimes up to 13 hours to get your shit together, right?
It's like me at weekend.
And just give me
5 minutes.
Yeah. I know you're asleep, but fucking hell, right? So, but what he does then is basically it's frottage.
Oh,
right. So because
the old frottage.
The old frottage. So what he's doing then, he rubs his fucking dick up and down against the belly, right? And it creates enough jizz for it to sort of some squirt in and squirt up, and then it just kind of gets
past all the bat flap.
That's it, up the bat flap.
Oh God.
Yeah. So this is the thing about those pictures we had before about a bat with a giant cock, and the reason why it's got this giant cock is because it's not ramming it in.
Just baby arm it out of the way.
Baby arm it out of the way, right? And the wonder is
cover it with jizz, all his belly,
jizz all over the belly.
Oh.
What a gentleman!
I wonder if he's white. He's white
jizz. I don't know really. I mean, don't know. You just pick up a bat and look at its belly. It's furry little belly.
I looked at a dead bat yesterday. No, 2 days ago.
Of course you were.
It was in the museum. It was like just outstretched, and they're a funny thing. I'm looking at its wings, and you can tell where like the hands are like grown, aren't they? Like these mad points.
Weird, isn't
really,
it?
and then leathery, but his little furry belly was like really. You're looking at both like leathery wings, furry belly. I'm like, that's
what a combo.
It is. It's really
weird animal, isn't it? The bat?
Really interestingly weird animal.
And I find it a particularly strange creature. You know,
is that a mouse that evolved?
Rodent.
So a rat that evolved.
Well, no, rats and mice and things. There's rats and there's mice and there's bats, if you see what I mean.
Yeah,
so it's of the species of rodents.
Yeah,
so it's not necessarily, of that. It's its own thing.
God, it's just so trippy.
Yeah.
Start flying about and that, innit?
It is to think that they are, and as you quite rightly said before, when you're talking about like fruit bats and stuff, and the size they've got, and how little they get bats. Some of them are so tiny. You know what I mean? But I wonder what it is that. Because we all find them magical, we find them wonderful, we find them incredible creatures. You know, they are a bit creepy as well. But but one thing I find out the evolution is of their whole nose and ear areas. You know what I mean? The whole face. If you look at some of the like the horseshoe bat and various other bats, where the entire face they look so ugly, don't they?
Yeah.
And but it's all for echolocation. All those ugly noses and all these things.
Even snout and
is
this nose,
especially the
grim,
snout.
innit?
Well, it's to sort of it creates this weird little baffle at the front to sort of like filter noises and adjust noise and pass it almost like back to the. I think it changes the decibels of things a little bit, so they know what their prey is and what the specific sound of their prey they're listening for. The whole face area then acts as a filter for those certain sounds, and those filtered sounds get to the ears, and then the ears pick up those super sensitive sounds which have been adjusted to sort of like to either amplify that sound or filter out other sounds. You know what I mean?
It's like, you know, vampire bats, the big, you know, vampire bats.
Yeah.
They're dirty when when they're crawling on the floor, when they're going up to the bison or whatever they're doing it. They're dirty when on the floor, aren't they? They look really dirty.
It's scuttling off to.
Here's one as well. Have you ever seen Fright Night?
Yeah.
Welcome to Fright Night.
One of my favourite films.
It is, man.
Yeah, that's my Halloween.
Dinner's in the oven. Evil says. But he did it as a fruit bat through it. You know, he's eating the apple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you look at the end design when he fully reveals, you know, it's a fruit bat design, not a vampire bat. You know
well, the fruit bat was actually the one they've used just about in all the vampire movies.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the one they mainly used in all the vampire movies is a fruit bat because it's big. This flying fox is the model they use for all of it. They're not using sort of like the classic vampire bat. It's because it's a great monstrous bat. But the only big bat,
dirty, ugly one.
the only big bat is the fruit bat.
Ah, nice.
You know, and that's the thing. It's weird. I was actually looking at fruit-eating animals. There's a type of South American wolf. There's a really weird-looking wolf, and we might have discussed it on the Cove before. And it's got these mega long legs. It's this really long-legged wolf. It mainly eats fruit.
Wow, is it to pick it from trees then?
Well, yes. That's part of it. Yeah, you know. But it's also its habitat is like tall, like pampas grassland sort of thing. So you can have a look around. It can make sure there's no predators about. It can look
scratching his balls.
Back
to cocks.
Back to cocks. That's it. You see. So there we go. So that's just a little callback there to the bat. Wyatt has that massive dick.
It's weird that we mentioned it, and it was literally news the next week on it.
It was absolutely right. Yeah, and it was a few weeks ago. Obviously, that was the news. But we thought we'd better have a callback. We better discuss.
Absolutely,
it, you know what I mean?
Keep up to it.
And I think for the next story, let's stay in the air.
It's like this seaweed cocks.
So as I said, we're going to stay in the air, right? And I don't know if you know, like in Australia, right? They have, they are magpies they have over there. They've got like a magpie over there. But there's a lot of the birds over there don't react in the same way as our birds do. And you get this in a lot of different countries. The way that their creatures, which are similar to ours, don't react in the same sort of way because they've evolved in a way that different pressures upon them create a different
that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
So, for example, we have in America. Obviously, we've got squirrels and stuff, right? You've got certain areas in New England, in America, and squirrels. You've got to be fucking careful.
Wow.
Their squirrels are psychopathic.
Wow.
They'll attack you. They attack each other. You look at all the squirrels. Oh, that's cute. And you'll see they've all got scars, got fingers missing, they've got ears missing, they're blind in one eye because they're so fucking territorial and aggressive.
Wow.
They've evolved to be an immensely aggressive version of themselves, like a lot of the Americans. But in Australia, the birds over there, a lot of birds over there, immensely territorial.
Right.
Very, very territorial birds, right? But as ever with birds or with magpies, very, very intelligent birds.
Yeah.
So there's this guy over there, right? Is Giulio Cuzilla, this guy's called, right? And he's been having a magpie problem in his garden.
Yeah.
And so what he's done is thinking to himself, fucking hell, the magpie problem is that they're fucking pain in the arse, they get in the way all the time, all that sort of stuff, right? They keep nicking his cat's food, nicking the kibble from the cat bowl. So they're rocking up every day, nicking all the kibble. It's costing them a fortune in kibble. The cat's not getting his scran, you know what I mean? He's thinking, I've had enough of this.
Why don't you put the food inside?
Well, that would have been the answer. But,
so this
Giulio
is an excuse about what he did next, is
Well,
this?
Giulio Cuzilla, right, he did come up with a good idea, right? If you want to scare away magpies and a lot of different birds...
Build a big magpie.
Well, build a big owl.
yeah,
build an owl. You if you want, if you look on the top of like your average Asda, you'll see a little kite flying right on the kite. It's a bird-shaped kite. It's maybe like a hawk or a kestrel or something, right? And birds are frightened. They think, oh yeah, there's a predator there. I better not go anywhere near that. I'll stay away.
Oh, so because I thought kestrels and all that. I didn't know owls were eating other birds.
Yeah, but an owl in itself, if you have a lot of the time as well, because again we said before about having things like with glittery eyes, like for a snake-shaped thing for cats, getting rid of them, and with glittery eyes, they're frightened of it. Birds likewise. If you did like a big pottery owl with glittery shiny eyes,
do you know what the most common owl is? Everybody gets this fucking wrong. It's weird, is it?
Is this a joke?
No.
I'm talking about the most common owl, the little owl.
No, the teat.
Tea towel.
A Christmas cracker for you all.
Fuck a doodle doo. That's a shocker, is that?
The fucking tea towel.
Anyway.
You see, all we're doing there, we're talking about owls and trying to get to that joke.
Little face, little.
Yeah. Woo.
Little face, little.
Here we go.
So, Giulio Cuzilla, to save the cat's kibble, right, he builds this big fucking owl, right?
What, Bohemian Grove style?
Yeah, well, no, not that big. Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's something we need to cover at some point. Yeah, we need to cover the Bohemian Grove on the Cove. And then get ourselves assassinated.
The suicided much.
So he builds this thing, right? Then, unfortunately, he realised that the magpie started worshipping it as a magpie god.
Oh,
do you want to see it?
Yeah, man.
So there's his little owl that he's made, right?
Let me get my goggles on. Oh, black and white though.
Well, that's the mistake he's made.
Yeah,
he's made it. And so what
are they doing worshipping it though?
Well, that's the thing that's absolutely weird. So what's usually they're meant to be frightened of something like that.
Yeah,
so he's built this fucking big owl thing, but he's built it out of like Halloween costume stuff. So he thought, right, I'll use this bit black here and a bit of this here that I've got, a bit of a ghost costume. I've got some big green eyes off another mask or something. Yeah. He's built this out and he thought, that'll scare him off. No. But congregate now to look at this owl, and it seems like they're worshipping it, right? As a god.
Magpie god.
Yeah, and it went on until they had a big rainstorm, right? And it soaked the bird and its head fell off.
It does look really paper mache, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So
he said, what did magpies think of that?
How can what we done?
Yeah, what we done? We should have brought shiny shit like they do in England.
I know, that's it, their god is dead sort of thing, yeah. But imagine that, these birds gathering around worshipping this helmet.
They're odd though, aren't they? You can see where there's rhymes about them and all bad luck with magpies. There is something weird about
I'm actually writing a Christmas ghost story about a magpie.
Wow,
yeah,
nice.
Joey, we could do that for Christmas.
Yes,
Christmas
please.
Ghost story.
Oh, yeah, nice and traditional.
Yeah, I'll do that. We'll do that. We'll have.
They stay all year round, don't the magpies?
They do. Yeah, they do. They don't migrate. There's a lot of your corvids, which are your crows, magpies, jays, things like that. Yeah. They're territorial. They're not a migratory bird, generally speaking. They will migrate though. This is another thing that people think. Oh, they don't go abroad. They do.
Go on holiday, like.
Well, what it is, this is the sort of clever thing with a lot of birds, is they'll try things out.
Right.
So you'll get sort of like, and I think this is sort of the same thing why we have things like autism and ADHD, and it isn't bred out of us.
Yeah.
Is to create we are the wild cards in that sort of sense. We do things a bit differently. If it works, that's it. It's a tryout, and sometimes it does work. So you get, I mean, the thing with ADHD, why it's been so prominent and it stays within the human populations, is because of the lack of inhibition with a lot of people with ADHD and the willingness to try something new and stimulated by something new. So, for example, if you had a tribe and you all went to coast and stuff like that, all the normies are all stood looking in the water going, I'm not going in there, it's war, it's something new, we don't know what it is, danger. Right? Then you got the guy with ADHD, come on guys, this looks fun, this is really different.
Up to his neck in it already.
So, and at one coast, the guy with the ADHD who's gone into the water, right, he's coming out with, look, clams, delicious clams, right? Yeah. And they're all going, oh shit, he's found a food source. Well done, mate. Yeah. Or then on another coast, there's another guy goes, come on, guys, this is and he gets eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
And then they all realise, oh, we don't go in the water because these are the guys who are the pioneers, that try new things out. And it's the ones that, and again, it's even like travel, exploration, that kind of thing. So certain birds and species as well have a similar, I'm not saying they've got ADHD, but they've got a similar compulsion to try something new. Yeah. So you've got a lot of birds will migrate across like the sea to Scandinavia and places like that. They will try these things out and go to new places for new territory. But what we're finding now is like the swallows, swifts, and that kind of thing, the martins, they're a migratory bird. Yeah. But as the temperature's changing in the UK at the moment, some of them are staying. Now, so far, they've not been successful. Yeah. So, as in, they've died. Yeah. Right, but it's getting to that point where some birds have decided, I could fly back to Africa, but you know what? I'm just going to try it out. Look, you guys go ahead. I'll stick around.
That's a big decision, isn't it?
You know what I mean? But also the flight to Africa, there's a very good chance of dying because it's such an arduous flight, and all it takes is a little bit of bad weather coming across from the continent, and you're not going to make it.
Why do they go all the way to Africa? Why can't they do southern France, a bit of Mediterranean? Do they need Africa?
Well, I see what you're saying, but there are populations will migrate to France from Africa, say for example, so it's a shorter run. But then what probably found is there's too many people in that, or too many birds in that area, and so they'll spread a little bit further north, and a little bit further north, and a little bit further north, and then they'll find themselves in an area where they've got it to themselves. So all the foodstuffs and also the flies, because it's wetter up here, you do get a lot more insects. So there's a lot of insects in the UK, a lot more.
Too, actually, isn't it? That's something we're abundant with, isn't it? You know, we're smashing all rotten logger parts of it.
Stuff flying about.
Proper, all sorts of shit under there.
That's exactly it. So this is why it's all about territory. So some people, they'll have to fly further, but for a swallow or a swift, it's only another day's flight. Yeah. You know, it's one day extra. You know,
I still can't get my head around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then they go, then obviously they go down to Africa where it's warmer and it's safer and stuff like this. You know what I mean? And
but very dry, isn't it? You'd be not really slugs and bugs there.
Well, it might be going down there during a certain rainy season anyway. It might be getting like that way. They go in when they know the insects and this food are there. Yeah, true. They know when the food's going to be. Then that's where they travel and go do it. You know what I mean? So, but they're trying different things out. So the majority of the birds will be here most of the year round. They'll stick it out. That's why they're tough, arduous birds. You know, they can take. This is why you know it's raining. You look around, you'll still see crows flying about.
I want to dress up as a fucking owl now and be some like. I want to be worshipped, kid.
Do you? What would you like to worship? You?
Magpies. Fucking all of them.
I think I can see you as a magpie kid.
Yeah. It sounds like Wurzel Gummies now, though. I don't know.
That's something I've got. You don't see them anymore, though, do you? You don't see scarecrows anymore.
No, you don't.
You don't see scarecrows. Thank God.
Yeah, I'd show Joe knew we were in this museum looking at his fucking bat, but there were a picture of Wurzel Gummies for some weird reason. Joe knew who he was and his curse, and I was like, "Well, who is he? Who is it?" And we put him, like the most terrifying Wurzel Gummidge clips, on YouTube. Oh God, it's dark. I couldn't watch it, Matt. I fucking couldn't watch it. That shit is disturbing.
Who was it who decided to put Wurzel Gummidge on telly?
I think it's some message or some pervert. I think it's all down to Jimmy Savile's and stuff like that.
I think it's really like that. It seems like Mr. Nosy Bonk.
Yeah.
He were fucking terrifying. So have a little Google of Mr. Nosy Bonk. If you're not aware of it, have a Google of Mr. Nosy Bonk. Have a Google of Wurzel Gummidge and his various fucking heads.
And that's what we had to grow up on. It's like, what's going on there?
There was some weird shit.
Thank God for Thundercats.
white hoodie. There's a headline grabbed my attention here, right? And it was just one of these things I thought, what? And well, see what you think about it, right?
Pray tell, Skip.
Yeah, and the headline was, a worker choked unconscious by carrot baton machine at a Scottish factory.
Wow. So, carrot baton.
Yeah.
Machine was a carrot. Like he's chopping it into little batons.
Yeah, little carrot. Yeah,
so
yeah.
just peel it, chop it in a little baton.
Yeah.
And he got choked to death on it.
Yeah, well, not choked to death, unconscious. And that's what kind of got me.
He took his head off.
It sounded like a carrot machine sex game.
It does, doesn't it? There.
Yeah, it sounded like auto asphyxiation sort of thing.
Choking out.
Yeah, this carrot. And
it's a machine that chops and slices, but it only chokes him out.
It only choked him out.
Oh, like it is a dummy thing, isn't it?
Yeah, this carrot machine. And apparently, what it was, it's like the machine's been given a hefty fine. But he was working by the machine. There was a giant, what described as a giant roller. Ugh. Right. Anyway, I don't know how the fuck he did this, but he got him by the hood of his hoodie, right? Hauled him in, pulled the hood in, right, and just choked him out. I mean, it could have fucking beheaded him.
Oh, mate, it's machines, especially that bit when they've got some piece of your clothing and they're pulling you into it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're out and the rest, oh, God.
I don't know if you, again, because we worked in the same factory for a while, and I don't know if you were there in the era where the health and safety side of things was fucking dreadful, right?
It were pretty half bad when I first joined, and then that weird woman took over, and it did get, like a bit safer. But there were still fingers flying all over the place.
Yeah, I'll say, what, Tony? As in the woman who joined?
Yeah.
With your cry that time, because she used to get that mad red flush, didn't she? Which is a little bit embarrassing. And I felt really sorry for this woman. She started to work at this factory. It's all just blokes. And
Hundreds of blokes.
Hundreds of blokes.
Ape men.
And she was a bit self-conscious, but she had this like a red flush if she got even slightly embarrassed. And it were a bit... It looked like a bit of a sex flush, didn't it? And she'd had this big red flush, and you shouted across the factory, absolutely un-PC, you couldn't get away with it now. Look at Tony, she's been wanking.
But she did look like she'd come out of the bathroom proper flustered up. Look at Tony, she's been wanking.
Absolutely dreadful.
There's something wrong with
I mean, that was 20 odd years ago now, so it's like we didn't know, did we?
I didn't know.
We didn't know. We're better now, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We'd never do that.
I know now.
We've learned. We've learned
the hard way.
But the thing is, because you said that, she just went redder and red. It's like she was still wanking. Coming up to a roundabout.
I got her off. I didn't tell her, allegedly.
Poor lass. But no, but when I first started there, and the first 10 years of working, the fucking hellfire, the accidents people had, hands and arms being pulled into the machines, and these are fast-running print presses.
Oh, they're gross. I used to proper fear it. Fear
the thing is, they'd found is because of the speed of everything that were working, they thought, we need to get these feeds and stuff right. Anyway, they discovered that when it was Tony, you've been wanking. She came around and realised one of the bosses, right? He decided, because things were where he took all safety guards off at machines.
To be honest with you, some of it were their fault because people took all safety shite off it to get it running better.
Well, yeah, but that's what encouraged by the bosses. They said, no, if you need to feed this, you're not going to be able to do this right, you know what I mean? So it was I remember one of the bosses, he took all spring loads and little pneumatic arms off this big metal guard so that you could lift it really easy and get your hand in.
That's what they did it when they were running. Instead of stopping the machine, they used to just put the paw in and yank it out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
And he was doing that, and he was looking at this machine. He had this guard up to this guy, Big Russ. Remember Big Russ?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He had this guard up. He's holding it out of the way, right? And this fucking boss had his hand. He's looking called Bob. But he's dead now, right?
Yeah.
This boss had his hand in the machine, and he's there going and goes, I don't know why you stood there holding that guard, Russ. Get out of my way. And he says, well, I've got all the... Russ, you're in the way. Let go of that guard. So Russ let go of this big
like the
fucking...
legend he is.
Like the legend he is, right? He had his thumb there, did the boss, where this guard landed, right?
Yeah.
And because there were no pneumatics and springs on it, it fucking fell like a guillotine.
Oh, yeah.
And it completely shattered his thumb. And he apparently just looked around and went, oh! And he was just shaking his thumb. What fucked?
Oh, I'm smelling the shot. He used to scratch his ass on the shop floor and smell his fingers.
He did.
We were all watching him, you know what I mean?
He was an animal, wasn't
No,
he?
he wasn't.
Fucking animal.
Oh.
But that's what some factories are still like that. They still
it's
like it. The
fucking
fucking Carrot Incorporated. This
Yeah,
fucking,
getting choked out.
But these machines are getting choked out, so that's the thing. Maybe this machine's been wanking and getting a bit frisky.
Oh, no, I don't
But
know.
I worry about machines like this, though. You know what I mean?
Couldn't work with one again now. I don't want to work with
I don't
machines.
want to work. The only thing I'd work with is a very, very old print press, but not mechanised.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
want rollers where you can roll a handle. I don't want anything with an engine or a motor on it. That's what I want to move away from. That's why I do what I do, or did what I did before you fucking got as you
You'll
come.
start again. You've done it before. From scratch.
From scratch. Yes. So there you go. There's a guy there choked out by a carrot machine. Yeah. So when it's Christmas Day and you're having your carrot buttons,
Yeah, a little salute, a little sip of some of the good stuff. Just
and just give a little salute to the auto-asphyxiated carrot machine that made your batons for you. Right, working is hard, innit?
Yeah, I don't like it.
What you need is a bit of leisure and pleasure, don't you?
Please.
Trip to the beach.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, that's much better like, isn't it?
it?
So we've got a guy here, right, and he's called Josh Taylor. And he looks to be like a bit of a not a proper extreme sportsman, but he likes his Australian beach kind of sports and all that kind of. He likes a bit of surfing, skating, all that kind of thing. He's a little bit of a danger man. 23 years old. You know what I mean? He gets up to all sorts of malarkey. You know, life on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, died.
Oh,
he's died on beach, right?
Oh.
Now, riddle me this one. He died when he fell into a hole that had apparently been reportedly dug to roast a pig, and and all sand fell on him and he suffocated to death in sand.
That is a fit. You know, you
How
see
the
people.
fuck's that happened?
Well, you see them, don't you? Build it. I like digging a hole at beach, but I always get so far and think, nah, I'm not going to go into a hole and continue digging because they collapse and
They do collapse.
and you can't get
how
out.
big's this fucking hole?
But how big's the pig? I think that's what.
Yeah.
I suppose you've got a
And
lot
what are
of
they doing
wood.
cooking a pig on beach? What's
I
this?
quite like the idea. I'm all for that. But I suppose you need like a funeral pyre type of thing. I'm surprised it went down so much, unless I want the embers. And
Well,
then,
I do know my wife, and she's kind of had one of these roast pigs from something like this, right? And apparently, what I've heard, what they do is they dig down. But I mean, this sounds grotty to me. I don't like the sound of it. What they do is they dig down. They lay loads of coals and burning coals and stuff on the bottom of it inside, right? Then they put the pig on.
Yeah.
Then they lay things like banana leaves and wood on top of it, or something. They put that kind of thing. And apparently, it acts as like this was
So
in
it
Hawaii.
doesn't scorch,
And it adds moisture and stuff.
Yeah.
Then they bury it,
The pig.
everything.
Oh.
So they put it all in the thing, and then they bury it, and then it acts
no.
like an oven. It sort of steams and cooks. So all the and there's enough air apparently gets drawn through the sand apparently, and then it steams for hours and hours and hours and cooks like that.
I'm a bit same as you there, kid. I want to see the pig. I
Yeah.
don't want it all like dirty sand and that.
Well, that's it. It'd be dirty sand.
And it is dirty sand, isn't it? When you
And
really
do you know
look
what as
at
well?
it.
It'd be all steamed, and it'd be. I
Yeah.
like a bit of roast, mate.
I tell you what, I went to a barbecue thing once. You know, they were like selling barbecues and shit. And they had a little roast piglet. It was a big thing. There was a roast piglet. And at first I'm like, oh shit, you know what, little baby pig. And I saw it and it was heartbreaking seeing it. You know what I mean?
Really?
You know,
How
all
big were it?
floppy. About a metre and a half, something like that.
What you did there about 80 centimetres.
Well, that fucking thing ain't weird, you know? Well, bust me hand through it to get you a bit of fucking dimensions.
But metre and a half, yeah, that's about nearly 6 foot. Right, about a metre.
Yeah, about a metre.
About a metre. There's a metre on wall there. About that?
Oh, yeah, a bit less.
About
Yeah.
80 centimetres.
Fucking gotta be right, aren't you? Were you there? But it came out, we're all floppy and that, you know what I
What do
mean?
you mean it came out of what?
Well, it came out of the bag or something, I don't know.
Oh, do you mean they'd cooked it? Oh, right, I thought, right.
Because you were right at the beginning of the event and that.
Pull this baby pig
Yeah,
out
and they
of
were
a
all
bag.
floppy and weird, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm having a beer and I'm, like, having a bit of a watch, like, oh, it's all floppy. Then they tied its little legs up and that. And they get it on this spit and they got it above this, like, coal barbecue thing. And it had, like, an electric turner on it. And I swear to God, every minute that pig turned, I would just, like, turn me. I was like, oh, and then it started cooking and you could smell it, you know what I mean? You couldn't see its face anymore. I mean, you could just see its back, you know what I mean?
Really?
And all its belly getting all crispier and crispier. Oh my God, that was the best fucking pig I've tasted in my life.
In front of queue and everything.
Absolutely. I'll like make a pig smile and I love you too, baby. Crunch, crunch. Oh, it was gorgeous, man. Absolutely delicious.
I have to say, there's a little thing I want, and it's awful this, but you know, like on those, like a suckling pig.
Yeah.
I just want to eat the snout.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
I'm eating pig trotter, this weird pig trotter. First I like, dirty pig hoofs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was delicious.
They're cheap though, but they're good value for money.
I'll tell you what, trotters are delicious. You don't, you know, when they used to eat them back in the day, I know they were a cheap part of it, but they're delicious as well. You know, if you stew them down,
And they're not really. That sounds vile.
No, but I mean, if you do it for like 12 hours, this shit falls apart.
And you still look like a foot.
Oh, you get full. No, yeah, I ain't ever seen the toenails in it. I've eaten it a few times. That one. Yeah, snout. I'll give that a go. I bet you could. What do you like? Boiling it or just crisping it?
I don't want it crispy.
Yeah.
It'd have to be crispy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like a
That's the
fucking
thing,
weird
yeah.
apple.
Oh, I'm feeling a bit. Oh, God, no.
Looking up
Look at
his
us talk about
nostrils.
floppy little baby, and then we roast it a bit. I bet we're awful. Are we awful?
We're human, Arcade. That's all
what I
it
mean,
is.
awful.
Yeah, we are pretty awful.
Because if you were, you know, if you say, oh God, look, there's a baby there. Well, we've got it over.
I think babies taste better though, don't they? You like with lambs and stuff like
I
that.
thought you meant actual
I
babies.
bet they are. I bet they're delicious.
Well, I don't see. I like a bit of mutton, me.
Yeah. Ooh. Or gilf.
Oh, I love you, your mutton.
All right, like your muttoniness.
Yeah. No, because
In
it's
a
got
curry, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
but
a
you
roast.
need to stew that, don't you? You need to curry that puppy down to roast. You don't roast a bit of mutton, would you?
No, I don't know how it works. I'm not good at it. If you've had roast mutton, contact us at krakencovepodcast@gmail.com, and we're at Kraken Cove Pod on Instagram and Kraken Cove on Twitter.
Yeah, let us know, because I don't know that. 'Cause I don't think it would work,
Yeah.
roasted old stuff. You need babies.
You know, would you like to roast some old stuff?
Well, I've done a few in my time.
Many a fine tune played on an old fiddle, our kid.
I'm weary for the springtime, when we take the road once more, for the planting and the pearling, and the berry fields of Blair. We'll meet up with our kinfolk from all the world around, when the gang of good folk take the road, and yellers on the broom. When yellers on the broom, when yellers on the broom, and I'll get you on the road again, when yellers on the broom.
So I think what we need to do is we need to stick with the old extreme sports people. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. You know, we've discovered there that the old surfing, the beach life might not be right, might it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just falling in the fucking hole.
Oh, he's not just falling out. Well, that's it. And he's falling. I think what's happened is sand's landed on him and buried him and all that kind of thing. But I mean, I just still thought you'd be able to get out of a fucking pig pit.
I don't know.
What if it smelled delicious?
Maybe he came out.
You didn't want to get out. It just, this smells fucking lovely. No, leave me. But no, what we need to let's take to the air.
Again, beautiful.
Yeah, let's take to the air, our kid. You know, so it's like we're off up into air this time. So it's like we're gonna go off there for an extreme sport. You know,
Hate it already.
Yeah, me too. Extreme sports is for idiots.
Yeah, especially going in the air and doing it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well, would you ever do a parachute?
No, we've talked about this before. I wasn't getting a fucking rollabout. I wasn't getting a roundabout arcade. I wasn't doing none of it.
It's fucking
Flying off into air on a little rope or something.
Oh,
No.
Well, one thing about like this one, right? It's fucking French pilot, right? He's been banned from flying, right? Because Nicholas Gailey, he was there for his little skydive he was doing. Right? He's there giving it thumbs up, jumped out of plane, right? And this silly bollocks, right? He took the he goes, right, he's jumped, I'm off home now, right? Does the fucking little reverse, right? Goes around the corner, hits him, chops his head off.
Oh, Jesus! Which bit got him the propellers?
I think it was a wing.
Oh, imagine that he's screaming, thinking he's getting right close.
Yeah, and bang, knocks his fucking Swede clean off.
Wow!
Decapitated with a wing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
can you
you
imagine?
didn't think would you think it'd all buckle and snap at the skin? Unless it all
Yeah, well, I
sharp,
think
wouldn't
it's a speed you hit it because they're flying like at high
Yeah.
speed. He's going at the sort of like he's fast
Opposite
as fuck as well.
directions of
So
them
yeah,
both.
that's it. So if he's going at 150 mile an hour, you're going at 150 mile an hour. This thing you're hitting it at fucking 300 mile an hour with a wing.
Man, what's worse though, seeing the head fall from that height and it just going whoosh like some.
Well, that'll land anywhere, won't it?
Yeah.
With Swede.
Oh, the parachute, this headless torso coming down,
Well, I don't think he'd pulled his chute.
Oh.
So he just kept fucking going.
Oh,
Bang.
shit. Oh, that's really ugly, isn't it?
Bad in it, that one.
Yeah. Is it worth it? No.
It's not, is it? And
No.
I think that's the message we're taking from this, really. It's like, life's pretty precious,
It
man.
is. Yeah, it's
You
right
know?
delicate, when you really look at it.
I'm kind of looking after my health a little bit more recently. I mean, I'm 50 now, so it's like you got to sort of rein it in a little bit. No, you're not.
I'm fucking trying. Oh, fucking problem.
No problem. But I think you do because you can only roll dice so many times.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's all fun and games till you clutch your chest and go, oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah.
But but this is what these people are doing. They're gambling with this really
It's
amazing
like some
thing.
crazy roulette wheel in it.
Yeah.
Let's push it even further.
Right,
Because
it's a lot-
sometimes you can think, when you're young, you're a fucking idiot and you don't know.
Yeah.
You can't really imagine it happening. You think you're never dead, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, like young uns, fair dues. You're not going to talk no sense. But how old were he?
He was
said
fucking 40.
That's what I mean.
He
It's
should know
like-
better then.
He should have done.
Yeah.
Jumping out of planes.
Jumping
like
out of planes. It's silly business.
Ain't it?
If we were watching like another creature, say for example, right, let's have a little think, say like chipmunks.
Yeah.
You saw chipmunks, right, and you saw like a pelican flying past, right, and you think, oh, okay, chipmunks just jumped on that pelican.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
pelican goes higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, right? And then fucking next thing is chipmunk launched itself off it, right? and then again back to banana leaf. Suddenly you realise it's got a banana
I was
leaf.
thinking banana leaf.
That's it. So he glides to earth on the banana leaf, and all the other fucking chipmunks are patting his back and they're all having a good time, and you're thinking,
And he's
what?
acting cool, like he's a proper cool
and
chipmunk.
he puts a little bit of wraparound shades.
Yeah.
You'd think, well, you're fucking stupid. You get, you get where you're going to get coming
Exactly.
to.
Absolute
I
way
saw
to
a nature documentary about these monkeys living near this resort, this holiday resort, right?
Right.
And they were running round and they were
Fucking-
licking out cocktails, they're getting shit faced on cocktails, right? They were fucked with these monkeys. They were getting in fights, they were having shagging. They were acting just like humans do.
Were
in the
they?
best.
Just
It were like,
proper
like
Barney?
spring break
Oh,
every
God.
fucking day. But what were even funnier was next day this monkey's hangovers.
Oh, were they hanging?
They were fucking hanging out. They're all over the shop. They were sitting around and blinking in sunlight, banging
yeah.
headaches.
Oh.
And of course, then all they do is, I feel awful. What am I going to do?
Air
Get
it.
bang on it. Air it, monkey. Bang on it again.
Were they?
Yeah.
Shit, proper booze.
And I think that's the thing. We just need to look at them and learn a few lessons from the monkey.
yeah.
If it's bad for them, it's bad for us. Let's just be a bit.
I even got to that, drinking next day, feel awful. What is the link? What is the
What
link?
is that link? I think they've sussed it. They must
Yeah,
know
yeah.
because they love a bit of fermented fruit, don't they?
Exactly, same with
So-
donkeys.
What?
Donkeys like it as well. There's this town in
I'm
Spain.
gonna isolate that little place. Donkeys like it as well.
There's this town in Spain, and they all fucking wait at donkeys. Wait till all fruit drops,
Yeah.
and then the wait. You know what I mean? Looking at it for a couple of days, till it's all squishy and fermented. Then they eat it. Then they start a proper. They go down to town and start carrying on these drunk donkeys. But I like the image of them waiting. You're looking at it like, no, Billy, get off that fucking apple and wait.
It's not ready.
Yeah, and when it's ready, I like them. They go into town. They don't mess around. It woods or up. They actually go down into town and start proper carrying on. You know what I mean? They all fear it. You know what I mean?
I could fucking murder a kebab.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Animals. A lot of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's just, let's be a bit careful, bit of moderation, kid. Yeah, that's
true,
it.
Skip. True.
This is reaching for his booze.
Just have a sip.
We've realised the dangers of flying,
Yep.
so what we need to do is go higher.
Higher.
Higher!
That's even more dangerous.
Space
Oh, I
Arcade!
do like a bit of space.
You like a bit of Space Arcade, right? So we like all this sort of stuff, right? But there's something that I've been reading about recently and listening to a few little podcasts about. Is like the biggest problem on the moon. Do you know what the biggest problem on the moon is? Living on the moon, everything to do with the moon is?
It's so far away.
No, it's relatively close. They can get, because you're flying through a vacuum, you can travel at sort of something stupid like 80,000 or 100,000 mile an hour to get to the moon. And you get there, I think you get there in about a day.
Wow.
It doesn't take long to get to the moon, a couple of days. I think, going around the moon and back, I think it's about 3 or 4 days.
Problem with living on moon. No atmosphere. No water. Oh.
Yeah.
No water.
Well, that's a bad one, but they're realising now they've found great reservoirs of frozen water.
I remember they saying those little beads and
well,
stuff
I'll
like
tell
that.
you, kid, it's the dust.
Alright.
Moon dust is a fucker.
Because I've heard that, 'cause even the Apollo dudes got back and it were all everywhere. You know what I mean? It smells of gunpowder or something weird.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. But apparently it's just, when they're saying it's everywhere, they're actually falling ill with respiratory problems on moonlanders. Because dust is, because it doesn't travel down much. Some of the, if you, say for example, if you fell over on the moon, some of that dust can literally go back into orbit.
Wow.
That'll just puff up and go, but it hangs in the air.
Yeah.
So the guys in the are doing moonwalks. Their suits, if you look at pictures of it, they are fucking blathered. They are blathered in dust. There's dust getting in. It's clogging everything up. Massive
that's
issue.
Scary. Tiny
Huge.
little particles.
Tiny particles. So what they're saying is one of the great ways to actually avoid it, and where they're thinking they're going to do moon bases, there was some form of like liquid lava.
Nice.
So there's caves on the moon that can go. They're thinking of going to live in them. That's what they're thinking of doing, living underground in these cave systems, these lunar cave systems, and that'll stop, because I'm not sure how many days it is, but there's a cycle of light and dark on there. You'll be on the dark, in the dark behind.
I think it's a month, Aki.
Is it?
Boom!
Yeah, I think it probably is that. Fucking hellfire. I feel right, Charlie. Now.
I will on top of the world.
Fucking hell, what a flapjack I am. So, but of course, there's the need to link these areas around on the moon together. They need to get back, and they cannot be travelling just across the dust all the time.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do?
Whoa, connect the tunnels.
No, they need to travel. They're going to have to travel on the surface. So what would you do?
Big tubes.
Big tubes is a good answer. How about roads?
What, they get dusty?
Not necessarily.
I suppose the wind ain't going to blow it onto roads, isn't it? And if you stick to the roads...
There's no wind, yeah.
Even in the speed of the vehicle going past the piles of dust at the side of it. Yeah. How do you build the road on the dust, though?
How do you build the road on the dust?
How do you get out of the dust?
Exactly.
Well, that's good.
But how do you do it?
The hose pipe.
I quite like that one. The lack of water, the preciousness of water, right? Well, how about if they make the without even landing on the moon, they're going to make roads.
Laser beam that shit.
Well, to an extent, massive lenses,
Wow.
a huge lens in space,
Yeah.
focus it onto the moon,
Shit.
and it will fucking melt the moon dust and create these solid rock paths. And they're gonna do it.
Mate, it's like someone's like, you have to go, right, come back to us tomorrow about what we're going to do. He's like, oh shit, I'll just put a James Bond on Moon.
Yeah, isn't it?
Just come on,
Come on with
big
an
ass
idea.
lens. I suppose the ferocity of the sun must be pretty goddamn
Well, because it's in a
strong, right?
vacuum as well, so
Is that good for heat?
That's good for heat.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good because it'll focus it without actually. So I don't know how it fully works. Again, I'm not a scientist,
Aye.
kid, yeah, but they reckon with these lenses, right? They can focus on an area and it'll create like 1,600 degrees centigrade is the heat it'll make and melt it and turn it into almost like lava or magma, which will then cool. And you've got these paths all the way across the moon.
You know when they brought, like, I know it's a bit off subject, but they think, right, we've got this problem in Australia, let's get loads of cane toads, this will be a good idea.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then they think, oh shit, you know what I mean, it's suddenly gone bad. You know, it sounds just like one of them ideas, you know, it sounds good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, burning the fuck out of the moon with big, like, lenses and stuff, but, I don't know with that
Well, I
one.
don't know what could go wrong because there's not an awful lot of stuff. There's nothing on the moon. There's just
Except
dust.
for aliens. You start laser beaming them fuckers, man.
Oh, can you imagine they just laser beamed us back?
Exactly. I think there's some on the moon, mate. There were all them little lights and all that sort of stuff. Even bloody Buzz Aldrin said they were there watching them and that.
Well, he did, but there's been a lot of things saying about that because there's a lot more seismic activity on the moon than they actually know about, or we've studied. It's not been studied enough yet, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy who studied the moon more than anyone else has died, obviously.
Oh,
you know, the
yeah.
guy, the expert on the moon. Do you know who it is? Or who it was?
Hawkins.
Sir Patrick Moore.
Oh, God, what a hero.
Yeah,
I
Sir
love
Patrick
that
Moore,
guy.
yeah, the astronomer, you know. Whiff of the paedophile about him.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
saying he is.
Yeah.
You just had that little bit of a hint. You know what I mean? And some people do. You know,
Yeah.
some people, you
Bit
know.
noncy.
Yeah, that's it. And as it's been proved before, you know what I mean? If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck,
Allegedly, it could be a duck.
It fucks kids.
Fucking hell.
But I've not heard anything about it. I've met Patrick Moore.
Give up.
I have got.
Were you a kid? And I fucked him. What?
Yeah, on all fours, I just kept saying, more. Yes, 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 yes.
How did you meet Patrick Moore?
I went to a talk. I went to a lecture of his.
Oh.
I went to one of his lectures. It was absolutely fantastic. I got to ask him a question.
Cool, what were your question?
My question was quite good. I haven't got the title of it now, but he obviously didn't believe, he was categorically didn't believe in aliens, anything like that, right? Yet there's a sci-fi novel out there that is reputedly written by him about alien existence and rockets to the moon.
Ooh.
and it's absolute mental flight of fancy, right?
Yeah.
And it is all about aliens and stuff and speculation. And my question was, do you believe in like this sort of thing?
Life on the moon.
Similar to the how the author, so I quoted the author,
Yeah.
wrote about these
Ooh, you
things,
smart ass.
right? And he just started smiling on the stage and says, "Oh no, that particular absolute poppycock, absolute rockers." I was like, people were giggling.
Yeah.
And at the end, I got him to sign the book.
Oh, sweet! That's a sweet little devil. Fucking winding you up. I love it.
But there was another guy in the audience. He stuck his hand up, right, and he was really serious. And he says, "What do you think? Do you think we have already found sort of life on other planets and stuff? Do you think there is life there and we've got evidence of it, sort of thing?" And he says, "No, we haven't found any evidence of it, and we don't think." The guy absolutely fucking exploded, stood up, ranted, and stormed out.
Oh.
Yeah, he turned up for that one thing. He turned up just to explode and run out.
I tell you what, I was mentioning it before on Cove like about 4 years ago. I thought, did they land on the moon? I was really 50-50 and I looked into it and it really looked like they landed on the moon. I don't ever believe in like shit they landed on the moon. And it only takes last week, saw it again, just the clips of NASA people saying they've never been out of, low orbit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've never gone into space, you know what I mean? And then they say, except for moon landings, of course, and we haven't got the technology, it's all died as the technology that we've used to get there, all this tinfoil that they fucking used in the 60s and that. And then back to Van Halen belt,
Van Allen.
And I thought, they said that they avoided it, they went around it for the Apollo mission, which I thought fair dues, but then other people saying you can't avoid it, it's a fucking belt, you got to go through it.
Yeah, but the issue you have with a lot of these asteroid belts, when they talk about asteroid belts, or these clouds of sort of like debris and stuff and things like this, is that what it is?
Radiation is a Van Halen belt,
right.
It's like fucking super cooked shit, you know what I mean?
Right, I didn't know that. Right, but it's... no,
Did they land on Moonarchy?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll do. Another 4 year later.
Yeah, at the end they did. I think people who deny it...
because they don't telescopes, haven't they? And they look to the shit on the moon, you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, if they didn't... What I can't figure is why Russians didn't do it. Because they had all the technology, there was a space race, and they as soon as it got to the point where the Americans landed on the moon, they decided, right, we're not going.
Yeah.
Now, same as the Chinese, the Indians, why they've sent missions, really good, successful missions to the moon, to send rovers and to send sort of probes and things like this, It seems weird to me, I think it's 14 missions, wasn't it, to the moon, or whatever it was. And they realised when they got there, there was fuck all they could do. That's why they're playing golf and running around and titting around when they got there. The amount of money it cost to go to the moon was so stupendous and a ridiculous amount of money to go to the moon. And they started pissing it away and thinking, we just got the moon again. And don't spoil it for yourselves. It's like being greedy at the buffet, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suddenly there's no buffet left. And I think that's kind of what happened. They went because they said they were going to go, but they didn't really have a mission when they got there.
Yeah.
All right, they did run tests and experiments, but nothing of great. We have learned a lot about the moon, but we need to learn more. We need to learn more about it. It's time to go back, and that's what these other probes and stuff are doing.
It's like the radiation. Those little suits that they've got, and they're stood on a fucking moon in all that radiation. Those shitty little suits.
Yeah, but it depends on when you talk about it with radiation. When you talk about with a lot of astronauts now, when they sleep and they see flashes of light, and they realise when these super heavy particles are blasted into their heads and through their eyes.
That's in lower orbit. They just don't fucking run onion layer up. You know what I mean? It's like they're proper out there in space. And why ain't Buzz Aldrin's face melted off his goddamn head? You know what I mean? You know, with all that radiation, we're going around with 2 heads. He's still kicking about, knocking people out and that.
Well, it's true, is that? I didn't know if he got married. He nearly got married again, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, nearly got married again, and I think he had a little bit of an issue with his new partner's religious sort of convictions and stuff, and I think that kind of got in the way.
He's a dude. Because he went to Antarctica and he came back saying, don't go there, it's fucking monsters and shit.
What?
And you ever heard that? You fucking Google that shit when you got a minute. They were like the oldest, they had like 3-4 blokes and they said, right, let's go to Antarctic. You're the oldest that, you walked up moon, you did that and all that. He came back absolutely terrified, saying, whatever.
There's monsters?
Yeah, it's proper evil. There's frozen monsters in Antarctica. It is an evil
Is that what
place.
you said?
Yeah, he says it's an evil place and it's full of monsters.
Well, we know what we're looking at for next week then.
Yeah,
let's say them all, do a bit of research on this.
I think all this shit, mate. Unless someone brings it up, all doors are shut in my head.
Fucking hell,
like a new advent calendar up there, just like
all this
ready to be open.
Have you got, like the start of this, we're doing research. Any ideas? No. No.
I was looking at Dollar, waiting for you to come up with some.
Fucking hellfire. Here we go.
Yeah.
So let's stay in space, arcade.
Oh, please.
We like it a lot.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I like a bit
subject.
space, but it's like so now what we're going to do? We're going to go a little bit back in time. We're going to go to 1988.
Oh, yeah.
So the astronauts aboard the now retired Russian space station Mir. So just think we had a space station in the 80s. Isn't that fucking mental?
Crazy. I love it when they call them cosmonauts, even instead of spacemen.
Yeah, good naming it. Yeah,
Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah, anything
Cosmonaut.
naut is good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Aeronaut.
Yeah, the Nautila. You know, Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah. Do you know what Argonaut is?
Oh, I did. And I'm too stupid to remember shit and old information. Can't remember, no, it's gone.
It's known as the paper octopus.
Oh, I don't know it.
No, it's a type of octopus. It's the only shelled octopus there is.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an Argonaut.
Wow.
Yeah, there you
Shelled
go.
octopus.
It's a shelled octopus. I'm trying to think if we've got an example.
Does he
for
grow
you.
his own shell?
Yeah. There you go. That's one.
Oh, shit.
My little logo's an Argonaut.
So, maybe, yeah, cosmonaut, so you got your protective layer and you're going out, you got your shell,
Shell, yeah.
spaceship, helmet.
Yeah.
Hey, that's clever, kid.
Thank you.
Good old Russians.
Yeah. So they're on the space station. The Russians are all on board, right? Then they realise the windows are getting like a little bit foggy or a little bit something's not quite right, and they realise something's blanketing the windows from the outside.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. There's something on the wing. Again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was like. And slowly but surely, this coating, whatever it was, right, started, as they said, it was trudging its way slowly along outside and into the space station.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Slowly destroying the Windows' titanium quartz surface. Now, this glass is so super strong. It's titanium quartz. It's not proper glass.
Yeah.
This is super fucking strong. This coating was on it and started eating it.
Oh, like some weird blob thing or something.
Yes.
Oh.
Right? And this stuff that was attacking it was fungi.
Space fungi.
Fungi from Earth thriving in space.
Oh, shit, now that is an issue.
And it got there, right? And this particular stuff came off this astronaut's bodies. This was a fungus that was on them already, a yeasty kind of fungus that was on their bodies, as all
yeast.
humans carry around. This stuff thrived in space.
So they went up before, yeasty substance got out, thrived, we went back up, it starts attacking the ship.
Well, no, what it was...
Oh,
it
space
was,
station.
It's on the
Yeah,
space station.
So it oozed out.
So
like
it's
oozed
gotten,
back in.
little fragments of it was here and there and everywhere. It was just there. They said what they're starting to investigate in the area, the fungi managed to adapt to the space environment so well that it not only survived by thriving on the windows, control panels, air conditioners, and the cable insulators, it even contaminated the crew's precious food and water supply. The fungus changed, it altered in space and became something that could eat the space station.
Fucking hell.
Can you imagine that?
Fighting mold.
But they found these moulds, right? They survived effortlessly in the harsh zero gravity environment. So it could grow in like a three-dimensional kind of way. It's sort of like, you know...
Oh, right, yeah.
You know
No
what I mean?
gravity to
Yeah.
it, so it's just like, ugh.
So what happens is these fungi, they remain dormant during the launch and the journey into space, but then they activate when in space. So when they're actually on them in space, it seems to just trigger something. Just being out in the vacuum of space, when it's on these things, right, and it starts to form thick living mats on the space station.
Whoa.
Can you imagine?
Not
that,
at
man?
all.
Isn't that vile? So since the 1988 incident where they noticed this, there have been numerous efforts to establish robust cleaning routines for scrubbing fungi off walls and equipment before the organism caused serious damage. Alongside these preventative efforts, scientists have also realised that studying their growth and behaviour in microgravity, specifically their adaptability to repair DNA damage caused by space radiation, could actually be useful for crews during long-term space crewed missions.
Right? A lot of mushrooms.
Well, it's... Don't sort of think of it as like mushrooms. Think of it fungi,
Yeasty.
almost like your moulds.
Yeah.
That kind of thing that's
God,
growing.
he's
You know what I
terrifying,
mean?
his mold.
But apparently in 2016, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California launched fungi into space for the first time for the purposes of seeing what on the ISS to see what it could do. You know what I mean? It was a species known as Aspergillus nidulans, right? And they wanted to create modules or molecules of this particular mold that do not reproduce on Earth, or that can reproduce on Earth. So they're finding it apparently because it grows, it does things with itself in weird environments, right? It works for bone mending. I think it could do for osteoporosis, so bone weakening in people, right?
Wow.
They think that these molds could be useful in osteoporosis.
Wow.
So it's saying basically in harsh or weird environments it can actually build structure.
Yeah,
That's the thing for it. But osteoporosis is a massive problem for astronauts.
Right, yeah.
Because you're in zero gravity, your bone density weakens.
Yeah.
And by a huge amount.
I've
as
heard
well.
that it's a real problem for those who've got to exercise like fuck all the time.
Yeah,
haven't
but
they?
even if it does, that's holding just not it's damage limitation, the exercise.
Yeah.
It's not actually curing or solving anything,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's like it's actually the basis of a sci-fi story I'm writing as well at the moment,
Ooh.
you know. I'm a busy boy.
You fucking are.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Ooh, Benny. But what they're realising, what this has highlighted, is they're realising just how little they know about fungi in itself. It's one of these great overlooked is fungus.
Yeah.
They don't know how it works. They don't know much about it. They just think it's there. One thing I found really interesting about certain fungi or fungal growth that they did is there was a whole form of it's not antibiotics because we've got antibiotics. They're one way, but they found this other way of making things to kill illnesses, and it was like a fungi-based thing.
Wow.
So they could create cultures for a particular illness that you had. So, for example, if you caught whatever it was, they could create this culture and it would kill it.
Wow.
And without harming you.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
was very specific and it was tailored just for you.
Like they get my mushrooms off, like some fungi off me.
Yeah,
And then mould off me, and then
that's it. They take a specimen off you,
Yeah,
the
train
culture
it
that's it.
yeah.
And there's a whole science of it. Mainly in the Soviet Union, it was done that they actually worked out this way before antibiotics really became the thing.
Wow.
And I think this is something that might have to go back to. But because of like gene altering and things like that, I think it might be an awful lot easier to actually custom build these things now. So rather than working with antibiotics, we're working with molds, funguses, things like this, which
we probably will do because we're getting tolerant to the antibiotics and stuff.
absolutely,
That could be a massive saviour.
It could be a massive saviour. So molds in space are terrifying. You were a frightened little boy to start
what?
with.
Awful imagery
But now
of all
might,
that.
Yeah, it might end up being the saviour of mankind.
Wow, clever.
Space molds.
Crazy kind of space story.
Yeah,
It's
go on,
linking two really weird things together, you know what I mean? Back in the day, Tesla's like fucking about near end of his career, you know what I mean? But he's built like one of those massive fucking electro towers, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like,
this is Nikolai Tesla, the inventor. Yeah.
So he's got that arse machine, and he's basically saying, like,
Did you just say arse machine?
his big ass machine. But he's saying like my heat rate is the bomb, you know what I mean? Really, before the atomic bombs and stuff, he's saying, look, I've built this, I can fry anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wanted to do the same thing, like stop wars, to say, right, America's got this, just stop everything, you know what I mean? And that was his whole equation when he were building it. And he frantically burst into some of like these legal offices somewhere in America, and he said, right, I want to know where is the least populated place on Earth. I need to know. I'll pay good money. Where is the least populated area? That miles and miles and miles of fuck all. You know what I mean? And they're like, right, yeah, it's this place in Russia. He's like, thank you, see you later.
Yeah.
And then he runs off on that. And the next couple of days later, and that weird, they say it's an asteroid hit or something happened.
The Tunguska event.
Yeah, listen, Tesla could have been responsible for that. It's pretty good. I like the bit.
I like the idea of that.
I like it. He's documented him going and paying for that thing, and they told him it was
Tunguska.
Yeah, thank you. And then on the day when you look at it, you think, wait a minute, that's 4 days after Tesla's got that in paper.
Well, I think the thing is with the Tunguska event is like they did almost 100% believe it was an airburst asteroid or some sort of like thing coming in and blowing up in space, a meteorite or whatever you want to call it, and it exploded in the lower Earth atmosphere and blew up.
Apparently, not much sighting of it.
This is the big mystery as well. Is there's no fragmentary evidence at all.
Yeah.
It's not like they found little bits or even dust or specimens of anything. All they found is the destruction.
Yeah.
So this is, and now they are starting to think perhaps it wasn't. Perhaps it was some other energy force or something like that. So to be fair, who knows?
Could be there.
But what I need to know is like where was Tesla's tower? Where did he didn't succeed? I think he built
in a line with that.
Oh really?
Yeah. When you look at it on Earth, where he built it, it was one place that you were always messing. I can't remember, not Providence, I'm thinking of H.P. Lovecraft. There's somewhere in America where they're doing all these experiments.
More research, so what we need to look into, so what are the things we need to look into? We need to look into the ice space monsters of Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you like 8 minutes
what
ago.
What the fuck are you talking about? Gone, deleted, on to the next. and Tesla's line, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where he built it. And
I'll take notes. And I'll do some research.
Please, I'll give you a text later or something.
Right, yeah, do that.
Is it that time already?
It's that time already.
Well, we've had a good run, though.
Yeah,
I know you're busy.
That's it,
and that's,
Well, I was busy, and now I've got to get fucking even busier trying to get some prints ready for fucking...
But it's worth it, Skip. It's
all right,
worth
is it?
For me.
For you.
And the listeners.
For little Benny. Yeah, and the listeners, that's right, yeah. So what we're going to do now, just a quick delve into, like, let's get a little bit Christmassy. So what we need, I'm a big fan. I do a lot of work with studies for like Christmas creatures and things, and we've looked into it before in years past, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've looked at like Krampus, obviously, and things like that.
That one, Iceland one, was good. I loved all that Yule Cat.
Yeah. I've done my list.
Yeah, the Yule Cat is beautiful. It's a really good one. Yeah.
Maybe we should do like a little giveaway with a show for a Yule Cat print. Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Get into the best email list before Christmas, and we'll announce it.
That's a good idea. Yeah. So we'll highlight that. So if you've got a Christmas story or something Christmas weirdness, the best one, let us know. And if anyone sends us something there and we use it for the show, I'll send them a Yule Cat print.
Yeah,
get a Yule Cat print. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Drum up a bit of support.
Yeah, so you can find us on the social. So if you send us it either through Instagram or our email, krakencovepodcast@gmail.com.
Anything clacky or stupid or spooky.
Yeah, something weird like that. It would be good. So get in touch if you would. But this is a weird one. I've only really just heard of this one. I don't think we covered it last time we did, which was Frau Perchta. Now, Frau Perchta is a terrifying Christmas witch.
Oh, cool.
Yes, that's it. So, and a lot of people, they know all about Krampus and stuff, but they don't know about Frau Perchta. Now, she's like a Christmas time goddess, witch, all-round terrifying woman, and she deserves a lot more sort of press and recognition, I reckon, And she's a staple of the Alpine regions of southern Germany and Austria, which I find quite suspicious in the fact that these areas are absolute hotbed of weird beasties for Christmas time.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it because there's a lot of snow there all year round? Do you associate it more?
Well, maybe so, but she's also growing in recognition, a slow burn in North America. Oh. But it might be because I've had a lot of people come across from sort of other countries and sort of live in these areas, especially if they're going to be in the more sort of like remote forested areas of America. Then these same spirits and terrors probably stalk the woods in the same way.
You say the same thing to kids, don't you? They'll be there.
Yeah. So Frau Perchta is also known as Perchta, Bertha, and also being called Spinstubenfrau, right, which I particularly like, right, or the spinning room lady.
Wow,
right?
the spinning room lady. That's my favourite.
So she's often depicted with a beaked nose, made of iron, right, dressed in rags, perhaps carrying a cane, and generally resembles a decrepit old crone. But this old crone packs a mighty wallop, and she carries a long knife hidden under her skirt. She also resembles a Scandinavian goddess, Frigga.
No wonder her hand's under her dress, aren't you? Tony, have you done in that bathroom, love?
Look at Frau Perchta, she's been wanking. But both Frigga and Frau Perchta, they both have this share one obsession: spinning, specifically, and sorry, not spinning on anything, but spinning specifically a domestic neatness and generally, right? So that's what she did.
So spinning cotton, not spinning people round.
No, spinning cotton.
People round. It's a spinny room.
What do you like works on waltzes?
Just scream.
Alright, home, scream will go faster.
But when you said spinning room, I just thought, man, she better cast a spell on you and make the whole room go spinning and that'd be horrible.
That's just fucking cheap scotch for you, that kid.
I've had spinning room for years. I don't want it back.
No, that's
God.
it. So apparently she's a bit judgy about neatness and cleanliness. That's what she's all about, right?
And she's dressed in rags.
Exactly, for a woman dressed in rags, it's a bit of a fucking bit of a burn, isn't it? You know. So that a legend has it that you better get all your flax spun by 12th night, right? So flax is all the material that goes into cotton and stuff like that. You know, that's the sort of thing, right? So January the 6th is 12th night, so that's when you have to have it all done by. For when the Christmas season was over, it would be time to set up the big upright loom, at which time you must have enough thread to warp and to start your weaving. And what's Frau Perchta's punishment for those lazy ladies who haven't finished all their weaving? In Germany, Austria and Switzerland, the numerous tales of Frau Perchta trampling and even setting fire to the half-spun fibres. Wow. So if you haven't got all your cotton and stuff ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like tramping and a burning.
Exactly. But what would happen if you really irritate her? Like, say, for example, if you've not... Say, not only is your flax not spun, but your house is a total mess. Maybe, and if you've even forgotten to leave a bowl of porridge out for her, that's another thing she likes, right? Well, then her rampaging will extend far beyond the slovenly spinning room. She'll do nothing less than steal into your bedroom, disembowel you, and replace your guts with rocks and straw.
Oh!
How about that? That's a one, isn't it?
That ghost always got me.
Oh, that's it. But Perchta does more than just check on your spinning. Other legends equate Frau Perchta with the legend of the Wild Hunt, right? And say that she flies through the night sky, attended by an army of lost souls, including the demonic-looking Perchen, her army of servants who are visually nearly indistinguishable from Krampus.
Oh.
Right? The only way to know for sure is context. Krampus rides abroad at St. Nicholas Eve, while the Perchten tend more towards Epiphany and the last 3 Thursdays before Christmas, also known as Birchtel nights or knocking nights. Also among her army of the night are the souls of unbaptized children. Legend has it you hear the wind and thunder roaring and rumbling through the mountains on Birchtel nights, and you're really hearing the sounds of Perchta leading the wild hunt.
Jesus, lost souls and all that
I mean,
stuff.
so can you imagine the wild hunt is this mad wild witch with an iron nose, right, and a knife in her skirts, leading an army of Krampus-type beasts interwoven with babies flying with no souls.
Oh, that's really dark.
Isn't that mad?
You're a little bit white. Is it the White Witch from, or is it the Ice Queen or something from Narnia? charging about on a sledge and
Yeah,
stuff.
that
Tiny
kind of thing.
little bit
feel.
there.
I think there's a lot of these things of Scandinavian folklore, like sort of witchy kind of characters who are up to sort of like terrifying things in the snow, But it's, I just think that's a particularly good one.
That's really good, really good imagery.
But I think as well, one thing as well, if you haven't got, you've probably got like a spinning room full of like all these loose fibres and flax kicking about. You know what I mean? And as the midwinter gets colder and colder, you're probably having more coals on the fires. The chance of a stray ember straying into your spinning room and causing a massive fire. The best thing you can have done by now is have it all spun into thread. Much more, because it's so combustible as flax. It's just all that stuff is just
pure wick.
That's it. Just go one, they'll just go up. So I think that's probably part of the little thing of that one. But then again, it's the idea as well. It's the idea of if you've got a mucky house that just comes in, disembowels you and replaces your guts with rocks and straw. That's
isn't it?
vile stuff.
Story, isn't it? Like
so, but what I intend to do is I'll find a few more little Christmas myths and things like that. And again, hopefully by the Christmas, if we do a Christmas special, which I'm going to try and do,
we will be doing our
So, but what we'll do is hopefully we'll be able to do that, and we'll send out a little Christmas the Yule Cat print.
Definitely get in touch. Give us some juicy,
juicy stuff. So so I'm gonna have to trot now because I've got a shit ton of printing to do, our kids. So
and I need a big wee.
So it's a big bye bye from Matt,
and it's a big bye bye from Benny. Merry Christmas, guys.
You come.
There are 3 ways you may contact Kraken Cove. Either by email at krakencovepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter @Kraken Cove, or Instagram @Kraken Cove Pod. Ha ha!